word integrity.
Integrity.
And you know what,
Okay.
Silk? Integrity is not what you do in front of people, it's what you do behind people's backs.
Oh,
You have
wow.
to make sure that you're being honest, candid, that you have moral principles. You have to make sure of that.
Uh-huh.
And what is so, I'm just reminiscing on us.
Okay.
For the past 5 years, we've been Republican. You know that, right?
Yes, that's right.
And a lot of things I'm starting to see when it comes to the Republican Party.
Yes.
And it just takes me back to, are we dealing with deep state snakes here?
Okay.
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 Because I know it's a Republican and a Democrat party.
Right.
But to me, it seemed like it's a Republican Democrat party. They just all one in one big basket.
It seemed like one dirty bird with two corrupt wings.
That's right.
What you're saying. Okay.
And see, I remember we used to travel across the country.
Yes.
Compelling people to be conservative, wanting them to join the Republican Party,
right.
Inviting them into the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm. I remember
and and we're not traveling anymore because of the pandemic. But I wonder, is it time for a diamond and silk retreat so we can clear our mind? Because I find it mind-boggling that you have some Republicans that want to remain exclusive and not become inclusive, where they're including people in a party.
Wow.
And then they want to place blame on President Trump like he's the problem when they're the problem.
That's right.
Because I don't remember a Liz Cheney, a Dick Cheney, a Mitch McConnell, a Mitt Romney compelling us or somebody that looked like us to come to the Republican Party. It was Donald J. Trump.
That's right. And that's where a lot of these establishment individuals is getting it twisted.
Right.
It was because of President Donald J. Trump that we came to the Republican Party.
Right.
Because we saw someone who was a fighter.
That's right.
Somebody who put Americans first and had an American first agenda. So now when I sit back and I look at these deep state Republicans, the establishment, I want to know what are their agenda. Because it's not about American first anymore.
It's not. It's about they want to continue to get their kickbacks and their patty whacks.
Yes.
They want things to go back the way it used to be. Because they all, like you said, is one dirty bird with two corrupt wings.
Yeah. So just think about this here. Remember back, whenever President Trump, whenever he would take and want to push certain issues here that's going to put Americans first, you had the Democrats that fought against him tooth and nail.
Right, that's right.
But then you just had Biden to sign over 40 executive orders, okay? Where the Republican push back on that? You had SCOTUS to restrict President Trump from overriding Obama's executive orders. Okay, how is Biden able to override President Trump's executive order?
Well, when you're dealing with deep state snakes, this is what happened.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to unclog the pipes when you have rats clogging it up.
That's right.
When you're dealing with the deep state.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of deep state, you all, Mitt Romney was booed at one of these here GOP conventions. Take a look at this.
So what do you think about President Biden's first 100 days? Now, you know me as a person who says what he thinks, and I don't hide the fact that I wasn't a fan of our last president's character issues. And I'm also no fan.
You know what, Silk? He got exactly what he deserved.
He sure did.
And then I heard him say he wasn't a fan of President Trump's or the last president character issues. Well, Mitt, what about your character issues?
That's right.
You see what I'm talking
We're
about?
not a fan of your character issues.
But you needed President Trump to endorse you so you can win. So why did you even reach out to President Trump to do that?
That's right, Mitt.
Yeah. And see, something... I believe Mitt Romney, I believe his career in politics is over.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to go somewhere and sit down. And if he decides to run again, what I think should happen, I think people should contribute their middle finger and tell him to kiss where the sun don't shine. Because he don't represent the average American people.
No,
he represents to me the global elitists, the deep state snakes, the ones that's trying to bankrupt this country. To me.
Come on.
Yeah. And I don't like that. And then I started thinking about Liz Cheney. She popped in my mind.
Okay.
She wanted to blame President Trump for what others have done when it came to their so-called insurrection narrative. But is it fair that we blame her for what her daddy Dick Cheney did or what we think he's done.
Is it?
And see, this is what ticks me off with these Republicans.
Yeah.
I don't hear you talking about nothing about Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
That's right.
How they destroyed this country.
Yep.
I don't hear you saying nothing about that. But you're always talking about some insurrection.
Some insurrection.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So speaking of that, girl,
yeah.
I don't know what we got on our hands dealing with Cuomo. But honey, he said some silly things the other day.
Yeah.
Y'all take a look at this.
Who are the groups we're targeting on the vaccination? Youthful and the doubtful. And there is an attitude that they'll be fine. Why should they take the vaccine? Maybe you will get a long haul syndrome that we're not really sure what it is yet, but a lingering consequence of COVID. Or maybe you go home and kiss your grandmother and wind up killing your grandmother.
Wow, you know what? I mean, he's so silly. You know what? But he should know a lot about killing grandmothers because he's killed them up in the thousands.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's talking from his subconscious because common sense will tell you not to use the word killing and grandmama in the same sentence.
That's right.
Especially with everything that he's been involved in.
Exactly. He acts to me like an arrogant sociopath.
Yes.
And why haven't he been arrested?
Why?
We should have him on every milk carton, every sign.
Yes.
He should be on the most wanted.
Yes, right.
He should be arrested for crimes against humanity and first-degree murder.
I totally agree.
So why haven't he been arrested? Yeah. And then he wants to mandate different COVID vaccine stipulations when it comes to people graduation ceremonies.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think that is a disgrace. What he wants to do is he wants people to provide proof that they had a COVID vaccination 14 days before the graduation.
Right.
That they had a COVID-19. If they caught the virus, it would have been 90 days before the graduation. That they received a negative COVID test 72 hours before the graduation. I think that this is a shame, and I think that all parents need to get together and protest against this tyranny. Because that's what's going on right here.
Well, this is discrimination, and it's total separation.
That's right.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
But this is the Democrat playbook.
Yeah.
Ain't this man a liberal? Ain't this man a Democrat?
That's right.
This is what they do.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.